Hello there, passionate Celtic fans. The atmosphere around Parkhead has been nothing short of electric, though admittedly tense these past few days. There's been a whirlwind of chatter, speculation, and a fair bit of confusion about where exactly the club stands at the moment. With rumours flying fast and thick, it's time to cut through the noise and lay out what's truly happening with Celtic right now. Let's start with perhaps the story that dominated conversations yesterday, the talk surrounding Wilfried Nancy and the supposed end of his managerial tenure. Reports surfaced claiming that discussions were underway between Nancy and the board over ending his time at the helm, which, if taken at face value, painted a dramatic picture of chaos after just a couple of weeks in charge. It's a scenario that would make any supporter's stomach turn, imagining their manager dismissed after such a brief spell. However, once the initial buzz settled, it became clearer that these reports were far from the reality. Multiple sources close to the club have confirmed that Celtic are standing firmly behind Nancy, even in the wake of a rare sequence of 4 straight defeats. The first such losing streak in almost half a century. Despite the rough start, the club remains committed to supporting him through this challenging period. Paul Tisdale, who's currently on a well-earned break, has been reported to stay in regular contact with the club's staff, actively preparing for the January transfer window. This shows the club's long-term approach, signaling that Nancy isn't facing any immediate threat of removal and will continue leading the side into Sunday's fixture against Aberdeen. There's a sense that Celtic are taking a measured approach, recognizing the need for stability despite early setbacks. Michael Nicholson, the CEO, recently spoke about the situation, offering a measured perspective that underscores the club's strategy. He acknowledged the difficulties of starting at a club like Celtic, the concern of supporters over the current results, and the importance of patience and continued backing for the manager and the squad. Nicholson highlighted ongoing discussions about recruitment for the January window and plans looking ahead to the summer, emphasizing that building a successful project is a process that unfolds both day by day and window by window. It's a nuanced stance, providing reassurance that the board are not acting hastily but thinking strategically about the future. Yet, as clear as the support from the top appears, there's still an underlying tension among fans and within the squad. The performances on the pitch have been underwhelming, with players seemingly struggling to find cohesion or motivation. Observers have noted brief flashes of potential, moments where it looked like the team could click, but overall, the narrative is dominated by frustration and uncertainty. The atmosphere at Lennoxtown, where many of the squad train, has been described as chaotic, adding to the sense that internal issues may be affecting performances. Under Nancy, the team seems to be operating on a game-to-game basis, with each fixture carrying significant weight in determining the manager's standing. The looming fixture against Aberdeen is seen as another critical test. A 5th consecutive defeat could amplify fan backlash and force a re-evaluation of the current strategy. Meanwhile, the situation surrounding the coaching staff adds another layer of complexity. Stevie Woods, the long-serving goalkeeping coach, appears to be at the center of speculation. Rumors about his departure have been circulating for some time, and while Nancy initially dispelled these claims, multiple sources suggest there could be more to the story. Reports hinting that Woods might have coached his last match have sparked intrigue, given his near 2-decade tenure at the club and the respect he commands from key players such as Kasper Schmeichel. Should Woods depart, it could have repercussions beyond the immediate tactical setup, potentially affecting squad morale and the manager's authority so soon after his appointment. Observers are keeping a close eye on training sessions and any official announcements to gauge how this situation might unfold. On the player front, Callum McGregor remains a focal point of attention. Recent speculation linking him with a move to the Saudi Pro League has added to the tension, particularly given his importance to the squad and his long-term contract running until 2028. While McGregor's past relationship with Brendan Rodgers makes the rumours plausible, it remains uncertain whether Celtic would entertain a departure, especially with the team struggling and key fixtures approaching. McGregor's potential exit would be a significant blow, not only for the squad's leadership on the pitch, but also for the dressing room dynamic, where his presence has been pivotal. His current form, coupled with his relationship with Nancy, may influence any decisions, but the overarching sense is that Celtic will resist letting go of a player of his stature lightly. Additionally, attention has been drawn to Hunan Yang, the young winger who nearly moved in the previous transfer window. Clubs like Birmingham City, Norwich City, and Preston North End are reportedly keeping tabs on him, reflecting the growing recognition of his talent. Yet, given Celtic's current lack of depth on the wings and the necessity of maintaining options for the remainder of the season, any potential departure could be problematic. Yang's contributions, though modest in the grand scheme, have been relatively consistent lately, providing some much-needed spark in otherwise lackluster performances. The club will need to weigh the financial incentive of a transfer against the tactical and developmental impact of losing a promising squad member mid-season. Within the squad, the psychological state of players is also a concern. Luke Maxey, in particular, has openly acknowledged the strain of recent results, indicating that morale has been affected to the point of withdrawing from friends and family outside of football. His statements about the need for mutual support among players suggest a team under pressure, yet there's a lingering sense of resignation rather than proactive determination. The combination of disappointing performances, speculation about coaching staff, potential player departures, and the overall uncertainty surrounding Nancy's tenure creates a complex backdrop against which every upcoming match will be closely scrutinized. Each fixture is not merely a test of skill, but a litmus test for confidence, unity, and the board's long-term vision for Celtic. As we move deeper into the current Celtic saga, the intensity surrounding Wilfried Nancy and his squad only seems to increase. The pressure is mounting not just on the pitch, but within the corridors of Parkhead itself. After the sequence of disappointing results, the conversation among supporters has shifted from cautious optimism to a mixture of frustration and incredulity. Fans are dissecting every match, every tactical decision, and every substitution, trying to understand why a side of Celtic's caliber is struggling so visibly. Nancy's approach to training and match preparation is under scrutiny, with observers noting that while there are flashes of organization and tactical awareness, the team as a whole appears disconnected at crucial moments. The lack of fluidity in attack and cohesion in defense has been particularly troubling, leaving many to question whether the manager's methods are resonating with the players. Despite this, there's a sense among the club's hierarchy that patience is still essential. Nicholson's comments from earlier in the week highlighted that Celtic are not looking for short-term fixes and that the project Nancy is tasked with is a long-term endeavour. The January transfer window is seen as a pivotal moment where the manager can start moulding the squad to his vision. Discussions with Tisdale indicate that careful planning is underway, aiming to strengthen weak areas without disrupting the balance of the team. It's a delicate task, given the financial and contractual considerations surrounding players like Callum McGregor and the club's desire to remain competitive domestically and in European competitions, there's no doubt that any signings made in January will be closely analysed, with supporters hoping for impactful additions that can provide immediate results while also contributing to a sustainable long-term project. Speaking of McGregor, the interest from abroad adds another layer of tension. While his loyalty to Celtic has generally been unquestionable, the lure of playing under Brendan Rodgers again in Saudi Arabia, combined with potentially lucrative financial terms, cannot be ignored. McGregor's current form under Nancy has been inconsistent, leading some to speculate that a change of environment might benefit both the player and the club. Yet, there's also the question of timing. Selling a captain and influential figure midway through a challenging season could destabilize an already fragile squad. It's a dilemma for the board, balancing the immediate need for stability against the long-term benefits of financial gain or squad reshaping. McGregor's own perspective will undoubtedly weigh heavily in any decision. He may choose to weather the storm under Nancy, confident in his ability to outlast the manager and see through the season, or he may be tempted by a fresh challenge elsewhere. On the coaching front, the uncertainty surrounding Stevie Woods adds further intrigue. His long-term presence at Celtic has made him a respected figure among players, particularly the goalkeepers who have thrived under his guidance. Rumours of his departure have cast a shadow, and even if he remains, the tension may affect team morale. The relationship between Nancy and the Woods is crucial. If there is friction, it could subtly influence the performance of the squad. For younger goalkeepers and those close to Woods, any change in his role or exit from the club could be unsettling. The management of this situation requires tact and discretion, ensuring that the squad's confidence isn't eroded by uncertainty in their coaching setup. Meanwhile, attention has turned to the young talents within the squad, such as Hunin Yang, who has shown glimpses of promise despite the team's struggles. The winger's recent performances have been modest but improving, offering Celtic some hope for the future. Interest from clubs like Birmingham City, Norwich City, and Preston North End reflects his growing reputation, yet letting him go mid-season could be damaging as Celtic's options on the wings are limited. The club faces a balancing act between nurturing young talent, keeping the squad competitive, and navigating the financial realities of modern football. Each decision made during the January window could have significant consequences for the team's trajectory, affecting not only immediate results, but also the development of the squad for seasons to come. Within the squad, morale remains a pressing issue. Players such as Luke McSee have openly expressed the psychological toll of recent performances, admitting to withdrawing from family and friends in response to mounting pressure. His words reflect a team struggling to cope with adversity, where confidence is low and the fight to regain form feels daunting. There's a collective sense of responsibility among the players, yet it is tempered by fatigue and frustration. The challenge for Nancy is to reinvigorate his squad, instilling belief and a sense of purpose, even as external pressures mount. Leadership, both from senior players and the manager himself, will be crucial in navigating the next series of matches, where each point gained or lost could significantly influence the perception of the season. And looking ahead, the fixtures against Aberdeen, Motherwell, and Livingston are being closely watched. Aberdeen, in particular, represents a pivotal challenge. A fifth consecutive defeat could catalyze discussions among fans and pundits about Nancy's future. Each upcoming match is more than a battle on the field. It's a test of resilience, strategy, and the collective mental strength of the squad. Observers are monitoring the performances of key players, tactical shifts, and even minor details such as team selection and formation changes, seeking any indication that Celtic can regain their footing. Every decision made by Nancy, from substitutions to training intensity, will be scrutinized in the context of whether the team can halt their current slide and begin to rebuild momentum off the pitch. The club's board must navigate a complex web of internal and external pressures. Fans' frustrations are vocal and widespread, often manifesting on social media and in matchday commentary. Maintaining a calm, strategic approach amid this scrutiny is vital. The board's support for Nancy, despite the early setbacks, signals a willingness to allow the manager space to execute his plan. However, patience has its limits, particularly in football where results heavily influence perception. The coming months will be critical, with each fixture offering the chance to either restore faith or exacerbate existing concerns. How Nancy manages his squad, the impact of potential player movements, and the integration of new signings will all play a role in determining whether Celtic can stabilize and move forward with confidence. Before we proceed, subscribe to our channel and enable notifications to receive all exclusive news about Celtic FC. Don't miss any details about your favorite team. It's extremely important for Celtic FC fans. Whispers rippled through the press room and beyond after Callum McGregor addressed the media with a tone that felt heavier than routine captain's talk. Nothing was signed, nothing was stamped, yet the words chosen, the pauses held, and the looks exchanged were enough to set tongues wagging across Glasgow. To many listening closely, it sounded less like a briefing and more like a man gently preparing the ground for a farewell. McGregor spoke of cycles, of knowing when a chapter has given all it can, and of the pride he carries every time he pulls on the armband. He praised the dressing room, the staff, and the supporters with a warmth that bordered on valedictory. When pressed about his future, he neither confirmed nor denied anything outright, but his answer drifted towards reflection rather than reassurance. In football, that often means one thing. Around Celtic Park, the rumour mill is already in full swing. Some suggest this is the moment McGregor feels the need for a fresh challenge, perhaps abroad, perhaps closer to home with a different project. Others believe the club itself may be considering a controlled transition, aware that replacing a leader of his stature takes time and planning. The idea of Celtic without McGregor anchoring midfield feels strange, almost unnatural. Yet football rarely waits for sentiment. Supporters are split between disbelief and acceptance. For a generation of fans, McGregor is Celtic. Academy graduate, serial winner, captain in the truest sense. If this is indeed the beginning of the end, it raises questions far beyond a single transfer. Who carries the voice in the tunnel? Who dictates the tempo when matches tighten and nerves fray? Nothing has been officially declared, and that uncertainty is what keeps the story alive. Until pen meets paper, this remains speculation, albeit speculation with weight behind it. Still, in the careful language of that press conference, many heard more than words. They heard a hint that one of Celtic's most defining figures may be edging towards the exit, leaving behind a legacy that will be argued over, celebrated, and sorely missed. Hello, fan. Don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel, as it means a lot to Celtic FC. Also, share your opinion about the news in the comments below. See you in the next video.